enable farmers to better manage their business and way of life. At CRV, we believe that this is the key to a better life for cows, farmers, and the world around us. For you and for generations to come. CRV. Better cows, better life. What makes a farmer? Is it the strength to get up at early sunrise, to produce dairy and beef products for people all around the world? Or is it the passion you feel for your animals? Whatever it is, we are right beside you. As a powerful collective of farmers, we have a deep understanding of what you need to achieve your ambitions. With genetics, products, and solutions that save time and labor, increase profits, creating the next generation of healthy and efficient cows that have the highest lifetime production in the world, and enable farmers to better manage their business and way of life. At CRV, we believe that this is the key to a better life for cows, farmers, and the world around us. For you and for generations to come. CRV. Better cows, better life. What makes a farmer? Is it the strength to get up at early sunrise, to produce dairy and beef products for people all around the world? Or is it the passion you feel for your animals? Whatever it is, we are right beside you. As a powerful collective of farmers, we have a deep understanding of what you need to achieve your ambitions. With genetics, products, and solutions that save time and labor, increase profits, creating the next generation of healthy and efficient cows that have the highest lifetime production in the world, and enable farmers to better manage their business and way of life. At CRV, we believe that this is the key to a better life for cows, farmers, and the world around us. For you and for generations to come. CRV. Better cows, better life. What makes a farmer? Is it the strength to get up at early sunrise, to produce dairy and beef products for people all around the world? Or is it the passion you feel for your animals? Whatever it is, we are right beside you. As a powerful collective of farmers, we have a deep understanding of what you need to achieve your ambitions. With genetics, products, and solutions that save time and labor, increase profits, creating the next generation of healthy and efficient cows that have the highest lifetime production in the world, and enable farmers to better manage their business and way of life. At CRV, we believe that this is the key to a better life for cows, farmers, and the world around us. For you and for generations to come. CRV. Better cows, better life. What makes a farmer? Is it the strength to get up at early sunrise, to produce dairy and beef products for people all around the world? Or is it the passion you feel for your animals? Whatever it is, we are right beside you. As a powerful collective of farmers, we have a deep understanding of what you need to achieve your ambitions. With genetics, products, and solutions that save time and labor, increase profits, creating the next generation of healthy and efficient cows that have the highest lifetime production in the world, and enable farmers to better manage their business and way of life. At CRV, we believe that this is the key to a better life for cows, farmers, and the world around us. For you and for generations to come. CRV. Better cows, better life.
Better cows are healthier and more efficient cows. Better cows not only lead to a better life for the herd, but also for the farmer and society now and for generations to come. Healthy cows result in healthier hoofs, improved fertility, healthier udders, and more. Efficient cows result in higher production, long-lasting cows, high feed conversion, and more. That's why we offer health and efficiency in perfect harmony. CRV, leading in health and efficiency. CRV is all about better cows, better life. Better cows are healthier and more efficient cows. Better cows not only lead to a better life for the herd, but also for the farmer and society now and for generations to come. Healthy cows result in healthier hoofs, improved fertility, healthier udders, and more. Efficient cows result in higher production, long-lasting cows, high feed conversion, and more. That's why we offer health and efficiency in perfect harmony. CRV, leading in health and efficiency.
Farm profitability is highly dependent on milk, fat and protein production. The CRV production traits are based on reliable milk recording figures. Production is expressed in a breeding value for milk, fat and protein production, taking into account persistency and maturity rate. Persistency is the production curve within the lactation, and maturity rate is how milk production develops over several lactations. Persistency and maturity traits are presented on a relative scale where 100 is the average. The higher the figure, the better. Milk, fat and protein are presented on an absolute scale in kilograms and percentages. This means that 50% of the breeding value is transmitted to the offspring. What does this mean in practice? A bull scoring plus 1000 kilograms for milk with plus 0.2% fat and plus 0.1% protein will give offspring producing 500 kilograms more milk with a plus 0.1% higher fat and a plus 0.05% higher protein. Do you want to increase your milk production? Farm profitability is highly dependent on milk, fat and protein production. The CRV production traits are based on reliable milk recording figures. Production is expressed in a breeding value for milk, fat and protein production, taking into account persistency and maturity rate. Persistency is the production curve within the lactation, and maturity rate is how milk production develops over several lactations. Persistency and maturity traits are presented on a relative scale where 100 is the average. The higher the figure, the better. Milk, fat and protein are presented on an absolute scale in kilograms and percentages. This means that 50% of the breeding value is transmitted to the offspring. What does this mean in practice? A bull scoring plus 1000 kilograms for milk with plus 0.2% fat and plus 0.1% protein will give offspring producing 500 kilograms more milk with a plus 0.1% higher fat and a plus 0.05% higher protein. Do you want to increase your milk production? Farm profitability is highly dependent on milk, fat and protein production. The CRV production traits are based on reliable milk recording.
What makes a farmer? Is it the strength to get up at early sunrise to produce dairy and beef? What makes a farmer? Is it the strength to get up at early sunrise to produce dairy and beef products for people all around the world? Or is it the passion you feel for your animals? Whatever it is, we are right beside you. As a powerful collective of farmers, we have a deep understanding of what you need to achieve your ambitions. With genetics, products, and solutions that save time and labor, increase profits, creating the next generation of healthy and efficient cows that have the highest lifetime production in the world, and enable farmers to better manage their business and way of life. At CRV, we believe that this is the key to a better life for cows, farmers, and the world around us. For you and for generations to come. CRV. Better cows, better life. What makes a farmer? Is it the strength to get up at early sunrise to produce dairy and beef products for people all around the world? Or is it the passion you feel for your animals? Whatever it is, we are right beside you. As a powerful collective of farmers, we have a deep understanding of what you need to achieve your ambitions. With genetics, products, and solutions that save time and labor, increase profits, creating the next generation of healthy and efficient cows that have the highest lifetime production in the world, and enable farmers to better manage their business and way of life. At CRV, we believe that this is the key to a better life for cows, farmers, and the world around us. For you and for generations to come. CRV. Better cows, better life. What makes a farmer? Is it the strength to get up at early sunrise to produce dairy and beef products for people all around the world? Or is it the passion you feel for your animals? Whatever it is, we are right beside you. As a powerful collective of farmers, we have a deep understanding of what you need to achieve your ambitions. With genetics, products, and solutions that save time and labor, increase profits, creating the next generation of healthy and efficient cows that have the highest lifetime production in the world, and enable farmers to better manage their business and way of life. At CRV, we believe that this is the key to a better life for cows, farmers, and the world around us. For you and for generations to come. CRV. Better cows, better life. What makes a farmer? Is it the strength to get up at early sunrise to produce dairy and beef products for people all around the world? Or is it the passion you feel for your animals? Whatever it is, we are right beside you. As a powerful collective of farmers, we have a deep understanding of what you need to achieve your ambitions. With genetics, products, and solutions that save time and labor, increase profits, creating the next generation of healthy and efficient cows that have the highest lifetime production in the world, and enable farmers to better manage their business and way of life.
Do you want to increase your milk production? Farm profitability is highly dependent on milk, fat and protein production. The CRV production traits are based on reliable milk recording figures. Production is expressed in a breeding value for milk, fat and protein production, taking into account persistency and maturity rate. Persistency is the production curve within the lactation, and maturity rate is how milk production develops over several lactations. Persistency and maturity traits are presented on a relative scale where 100 is the average. The higher the figure, the better. Milk, fat and protein are presented on an absolute scale in kilograms and percentages. This means that 50% of the breeding value is transmitted to the offspring. What does this mean in practice? A bull scoring plus 1000 kilograms for milk with plus 0.2% fat and plus 0.1% protein will give offspring producing 500 kilograms more milk with a plus 0.1% higher fat and a plus 0.05% higher protein. Do you want to increase your milk production? Farm profitability is highly dependent on milk, fat and protein production. The CRV production traits are based on reliable milk recording figures. Production is expressed in a breeding value for milk, fat and protein production, taking into account persistency and maturity rate. Persistency is the production curve within the lactation, and maturity rate is how milk production develops over several lactations. Persistency and maturity traits are presented on a relative scale where 100 is the average. The higher the figure, the better. Milk, fat and protein are presented on an absolute scale in kilograms and percentages. This means that 50% of the breeding value is transmitted to the offspring. What does this mean in practice? A bull scoring plus 1000 kilograms for milk with plus 0.2% fat and plus 0.1% protein will give offspring producing 500 kilograms more milk with a plus 0.1% higher fat and a plus 0.05% higher protein.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Rebuka platform. We are just going to give our colleagues a few more minutes to join as we enjoy the videos on CRV catalog. So let's give our colleagues about another 5 minutes to join, and then we'll start the lesson.
Do you want to increase your milk production? Farm profitability is highly dependent on milk, fat and protein production. The CRV production traits are based on reliable milk recording figures. Production is expressed in a breeding value for milk, fat and protein production, taking into account persistency and maturity rate. Persistency is the production curve within the lactation, and maturity rate is how milk production develops over several lactations. Persistency and maturity traits are presented on a relative scale where 100 is the average. The higher the figure, the better. Milk, fat and protein are presented on an absolute scale in kilograms and percentages. This means that 50% of the breeding value is transmitted to the offspring. What does this mean in practice? A bull scoring plus 1000 kilograms for milk with plus 0.2% fat and plus 0.1% protein will give offspring producing 500 kilograms more milk with a plus 0.1% higher fat and a plus 0.05% higher protein.
CRV, we believe that this is the key to a better life for cows, farmers, and the world around us. What makes a farmer? Is it the strength to get up at early sunrise to produce dairy and beef products for people all around the world? Or is it the passion you feel for your animals? Whatever it is, we are right beside you. As a powerful collective of farmers, we have a deep understanding of what you need to achieve your ambitions. With genetics, products, and solutions that save time and labor, increase profits, creating the next generation of healthy and efficient cows that have the highest lifetime production in the world, and enable farmers to better manage their business and way of life. At CRV, we believe that this is the key to a better life for cows, farmers, and the world around us. For you and for generations to come. CRV. Better cows, better life. What makes a farmer? Is it the strength to get up at early sunrise to produce dairy and beef products for people all around the world? Or is it the passion you feel for your animals? Whatever it is, we are right beside you. As a powerful collective of farmers, we have a deep understanding of what you need to achieve your ambitions. With genetics, products, and solutions that save time and labor, increase profits, creating the next generation of healthy and efficient cows that have the highest lifetime production in the world, and enable farmers to better manage their business and way of life. At CRV, we believe that this is the key to a better life for cows, farmers, and the world around us. For you and for generations to come. CRV. Better cows, better life. What makes a farmer? Is it the strength to get up at early sunrise to produce dairy and beef products for people all around the world? Or is it the passion you feel for your animals? Whatever it is, we are right beside you. As a powerful collective of farmers, we have a deep understanding of what you need to achieve your ambitions. With genetics, products, and solutions that save time and labor, increase profits, creating the next generation of healthy and efficient cows that have the highest lifetime production in the world, and enable farmers to better manage their business and way of life. At CRV, we believe that this is the key to a better life for cows, farmers, and the world around us. For you and for generations to come. CRV. Better cows, better life.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us in this final session of the Revuka Young Stock Management Series. It's been a pleasure having you all here for the past 2 weeks, and we're excited to close the series with this very exciting lesson on breeding selection, getting the calf you want. Today's session is all about genetics, how to select the right bull for your herd goals, how to interpret a bull catalog, and how these decisions influence the long-term productivity and profitability of your dairy farm. We are honored to be joined by our partners and facilitators for this session from CKL Kenya, represented by Mr. Benson Landa. They are our sponsors today, and they are going to be taking us through the CRV bull catalog. We thank them for making this session freely accessible to all our participants. They are going to take us through the importance of breeding goals, how to choose the right bull for your herd, and a step-by-step guide to understanding the CRV bull catalog and the key genetic indicators. Just as quick reminders, let's keep our microphones muted at all times. You can use the chat box to ask questions. during the session, or even for your comments. At the end, we'll have a chance for a facilitator to go through all the comments and questions, and he'll be able to address those. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome the CKL team. Benson, kindly welcome.
Good afternoon. Confirm you can hear me?
Benson, we can hear you.
Great. Let me put on my video for a few minutes. As I put on my screen. Let me know when it's up.
We can see it.
Okay. Just a minute. Good. Good. Okay. So my name is Benson Landa. I want to put off my video so that I can increase the bandwidth. And for the flow of the presentation. Good. Good. Great. So good afternoon, all of us. It's my pleasure to interact with you. I really want to say thank you for joining this session. It has been a wonderful, I'm really happy, or rather encouraged by the reception, by the number of people still joining. It's a pleasure, and it's always, we are happy when we find such opportunities to interact with our farmers, to interact with our clients, to interact with the people who make our life this happy. We love interacting with animals. We love interacting with cows in particular. And therefore, when we have a session whereby we can be able to share our experiences at the farms, share our experiences dealing with farmers, share our experiences dealing with these animals, share our joys, share our the pain points in our venture, being a business, then we grab it. And that's why we felt that this is an opportunity, especially together with Refuka, to join together and see how much you can be able to help share knowledge, to help also receive feedback from the people we love most, the farmers. And therefore, this session today will be a short one, 1 hour, 30 minutes, but all geared towards making our interactions, especially on the breeding side, a little bit more exciting, a little bit more knowledgeable. And therefore, my name is Benson Landa. Just for the sake of my introduction, I work in CKL Africa Limited, formerly known as Cooper Key Brands Limited. We are a pharmaceutical company that deals with providing trusted solutions to our farmers and making sure that we do this following our purpose, trying to create excellence in whatever we do. We have been in existence for the longest. We'll be celebrating our 120 years in this space of dairy, but also in crop care protection. We're also in small animal side, dealing with small animal like the sheep, with the goats, but also the pets, the dogs and the cats. And therefore, latest, we have also ventured into camels. Our idea is to make sure that we are able to leverage on our expertise, on our long experiences or long-term experiences to make sure that we can be able to provide food to every single family in Kenya, but beyond, even to Africa. Our story, as I said, spans back almost 120 years ago, making sure that we are able to provide solutions in the farming area. And we are saying we want to do this together with you, together with our key guys, our key stakeholders that are the farmers. And it's a beautiful opportunity when you get these chances to be able to interact with you and to do this together with you. That's why we really love when you give us feedbacks. We really love when you tell us where to improve, what to improve, and what you have done best. We can be able to pat us at the backs and say, yes, kudos, you have done good here, but you may need to do better in another area, or rather in this area. Therefore, that's exactly why we are here, to experience the fulfillment of creating excellence. Excellence is a moving target, so therefore you get better every single day. And you can only do that together with you as our valued customers. Because today we'll be talking about breeding. Breeding is all about genetics. It's all about getting better. It's all about improvement. It's all about being able to get a better animal than you had the previous time, rather than the current one that you have. And therefore, one of the companies that we partner with in this area of breeding is called CRV. CRV is a breeding cooperative, rather a cooperative of farmers based majorly in Netherlands, but supplying genetic products all over the world, right now in over 60 different countries in the entire world. They've been in existence for more than us, in fact, for more than 150 years. They've been doing this, supplying genetics of different breeds all over the country. One thing that amazes me about CRV is because being a cooperative, they are more farmer-centered. So they produce genetics, or rather they are geared towards producing genetics that will improve the livelihoods of farmers. And therefore, the story around CRV is making, or rather helping farmers to achieve their best possible ad generation after generation. And they have done this successfully for the last 100 years, becoming one of the top companies supplying genetics in the world. Right now, we are talking about producing over 13 million straws of bull semen per year, making it possible that every single 6 seconds, there is a calf that is being born from the CRV genetics. And therefore, that's the pride that's the company we are working with in terms of providing our genetics to the country. But our biggest pride is around what they stand for, around giving our customers a product that they can be able to be proud of, that can give them, help them to achieve their dreams, beyond doing this efficiently, but also cost effectively. We are able to do this by breeding for health, making sure that our animals, or rather the genetics you are getting, are healthy. They can be able to withstand diseases, the common diseases, especially the top 3 conditions, or rather diseases that may conditions that may affect your cow and affect your profitability as a farm. That is the issues with fertility, leading in that front. Looking at mastitis, both subclinical and clinical, somatic cell count, and the rest. Looking at the hoof health, making sure that you're able to get an animal that will not give you trouble when it comes to the feet and hoofs and anything around the feet composites. But also giving you a cow that is high producing in terms of the milk production, in terms of volume, components, but also how long will the animal be able to stay in the farm, giving you, assuring you of longevity. Now, for our discussion today, that's it for the introduction. For our discussion today, we'll be looking at the role of genetics in dairy production. Why is genetics important? Why are we concerned about breeding? But number 2, how do we come up with the breeding goals? How do we come up with the breeding goals? Number 3, then after gaining these critical skills around the importance of genetics, but also how we come with breeding goals, how do we make this practical? How can we bring this to the practicality of our farms, of our ventures? We call them businesses because truly any farm should be looked at as a business venture where you've invested your time, you have invested your resources, and you, as our goal says, you should be able to get food from that venture. So that will be what we'll be looking at today. Now, basically, breeding, I call it a strategy. Why is it a strategy? First of all, you'll have to understand where you want to go. In any business venture, and especially in dairy industry, you really need to understand, first of all, why did you start the business? Why did you start the farming? When you started the farming, what is your end game? What do you need to do to achieve that end game? how will you achieve it? What are the different things that you need to do to achieve it? But beyond that, what should you say no to? And what should you say yes to? Strategy, when it comes to strategy, there are things that you need to say yes to. There are things that you need to say no to, because they are not aligned to your strategy, to your breeding, to your objective at that particular moment. And therefore, there might be a lot of noise around you. But it is about upon you as the vision bearer of your farm to detect and to know the signal, the true north. Because otherwise then, if you do not stick to the objectives the reason why you started your farm, you'll find yourself living the dreams of others. Every single farm, I've come to understand, they have their own way of doing things. They have their reasons of doing whatever they are doing. Different farms are formed for different reasons. Yes, we know there might be milk is part of them, but other farms are around breeding. They just want to have animals that they can be able to improve and sell for purposes of rearing in other different farms. Other farms are all around the quality of the milk they are getting. So their breeding strategy changes. Other farms, they are all about the conformation of the animals. They want to show their animals, to take the animals for shows. So therefore, the breeding goal changes. And therefore, if you do not have a defined way or rather strategy of what you want to do and how you will achieve it, then you'll find yourself living the dream of others. And that's why we say breeding is a strategy. It's all about strategy. Knowing when to say no and when to say yes. Therefore, you need to have a diagnosis. You need to sit down and see, this is my farm. Where is the rain beating me? Or rather, what do I need to change? What are the parameters that I need to look at and see, if I make good use of this, I will be able to achieve better. Are you looking at, if you do proper diagnosis, then the treatment, or rather, if you are able to know the challenges you have in the farm, the situation you are at, the kind of a system you want to carry on. Is it an intensive kind of a system? Is it an extensive kind of a system where animals can go outside, graze, and come back in the evening? Is it what the climatic condition of where you are? Is it a hot place? So therefore, you know what you need to focus on in terms of even the breeding animal traits. Is it a cold place? Animals respond differently to climates. And therefore, you need, if you are able to do proper diagnosis, first of all, around your system of farming, the system of farming that you want to adopt. But secondly, where you are, the location, the management style, and you match this one to your breeding objective, it will become easier. If you are able to diagnose and know what you need to do, then it becomes easier even to call upon the people who will help you to get to your breeding goal. Key things that are influenced greatly by genetics include productivity, that is in terms of either the milk or beef, for those people who are interested in beef, but also fertility, how easily your animals are able to conceive, how is what is the calving intervals of animals, how many insemination straws do you use to get a conception from an animal? All those non-return, how long does your animal come back to eat after calving down? All those are issues around fertility. And therefore, it's important to measure, or rather to have a key look at that. Longevity. Do you want to have a cow that's only in 2 lactations? You'll have to cull it off because they have issues either with diarrhea, mastitis. They have issues with their feet and legs. They have issues with how much they are consuming. They have issues with their body condition and all that kind of a thing. So some of key factors that are influenced by genetics include the ones on the productivity, the production, fertility, longevity, body conformation, which kind of an animal do you want to see. And therefore, by defining your goal, it helps you to know which things do I need to focus on immediately. That is the short-term goals. And which things do I need, as I focus on the short-term goal, what are the other things that I need to focus on as a long-term goal? If your idea is around milk productivity, is it a long-term goal? Is it a short-term goal? If your idea is to getting healthy cows, what do you need to do to get healthy animals? If your idea is around, your biggest challenge is around fertility, what do you need to do? In terms of genetics, which animals do you need to select? In terms of management, how do you need to manage to get to that? If you're able to define a breeding goal, I normally say breeding goal should not be more than 3 points. Because at any given time, you are not able to improve more than these three different, you may not be able to get these three breeding goals at a go. And therefore, you need to be able to say no to some and yes to others. Why does genetics matter? I normally say genetics is a marathon. It's never a sprint. Because the decision you are making now, the results of those decisions will be seen in 1 year, in 2 years, in 3 years' time. And therefore, the problem with that is that if you do not make it as early as at now, then you delay yourself. So the earlier you start being conscious of your investment as a farmer, your investment, then the longer it will take for you to realize your investment. Every single calf born is a step either towards your goal of better, more milk, more beef, better fertility, better health, or away from it. And therefore, the earlier you define that, the better for you. It is a long-term investment because whatever you're making right now will be your foundation for the next future. I just gave a graph, I showed a graph here. Since CRV started focusing on hoof health as a key breeding objective from 2011 up to 2019, there was an improvement of 21. Someone admitted me? Am I back?
Yes, you're back.
Oh, good. So since the introduction of breeding, or rather, since CRV started looking at hoof health as a trait to focus on in 2011, 8 years down the line, yes, it is long, but look at the impact, 21% reduction in the challenges around the hoof. That is the laminitis, ng'ombe anashindwa kutembea, baada ya kubeba mimba, by the time akuje kuzaa, ng'ombe akona shida, hawezi jiamsha mahali amekuwa because miguu it's not stable enough to help that animal to live a very good life. I'll mention this later on. But you can see how long it took and the big impact it had. If they had not started, it would not have changed that much. Yes, some of the breeding traits are, you will need more time to change them. But the thing is, if you do not start early, then the next generation will not be even better than what you have. So breeding is all around improving the natural potential of your animal. And at this point, I'll say there is a big difference between breeding and mating. Mating is achieving a conception. Umeita inseminator ama unafanya insemination, ng'ombe ameshika mimba, unangojea ndama. Haujaangalia ng'ombe alikuwa anakaa aje, hauko sure ulikuwa unataka nini in the future, wenye ulikuwa unataka ni ndama. Normally that one tunaitanga mating. But when it comes to breeding, kwanza unajua ng'ombe wako ni shida gani yako nayo. Then from there ni nibul, unaenda catalog ama unaenda kuchagua ama unasaidiwa kujua ni ndume gani anaweza nisaidia to get to this animal that I want, or rather to improve the challenges, to move out of the challenges that I've been facing. So we say what you normally see is what you call the phenotype. But each and unaona, what you are seeing with your animal here has been brought about by number one, genes zake, maumbile yake, what we call the genotype. But number two, vile umemlea, environment. Nyumba yake imewekaje? How is your housing? How is the floor? How is the ventilation in the house? How is the nutrition? Plays a very huge role. The nutrition, balanced diet, making sure that the animal is at any given time close or the energy balance is as close as possible to what we should have. Management, how cleanliness of the house, how clean is your environment? Do you do drastic changes, even changing the farm helps, farm workers? That drastic change every single month, there is new person addressing or rather dealing with the animals. It causes a change. Resilience. Where did you get your animals from? How are they able to or rather recover quickly from a change? It could be nutritional change, it could be a weather change. Ilikuwa kunanyesha, kumeacha kunyesha. Hakukuwa kunanyesha, kumeanza kunyesha. Those are changes that the animal needs to be resilient enough to recover from that. You as a farmer, how hands-on are you? Are you a telephone farmer? Are you a person who will only get to the farm 1 month down the line without understanding and make changes without understanding why these changes are important? I will tell you in a different slide how important that environment and management, general management of the farm is. But this is sometimes what we looking at on the left. We expect that when we do when we give our animals begu, we expect better cows. We expect an improvement immediately. If you are doing mating, this may not be the case. But if you are doing breeding, at least you'll have known what you wanted, what you have improved by giving that animal, whatever bull you have selected. In the next generation, there will be an improvement on a specific thing that you wanted to improve. Let it be known that there are so many factors that may that interact together to change or cause or not change the offspring, the next offspring. But all of them coming together, if at all you are keeping an eye on the most important trait for you, there will always be a change. You will always be certain of what you want to achieve. Some traits, like for example, milk production, are easily transmitted. The irritability, the easiness of transmitting an animal, the good thing from John Makemu, please, if you are having, don't scribble on the screen. Don't take control of the screen, so because I can see you're scribbling something. So it is important to understand some traits will take longer to improve than others. One trait that is that you can quickly be able to improve is around milk production. In your next offspring, milk production is highly heritable, so can transmit to your next offspring quickly in one or two generations. But something like fertility, you may need more generations to be able to see a change when it comes to the genetics of it. But I'll show you that in the next slide. So this is how it looks like. You want to make sure that the mother, the great-granddaughter are better than the dams. But how do you do this? We are coming to see how do you do that. But it is all about being selective, being intentional on what to say yes to, being intentional on the bulls that you want to select, being intentional on where the bulls are coming from. Now, this is a very important slide for all of us, and I want us to look at it as our as a way of gauging and knowing whether our businesses, our dairy businesses, are making profit. Whenever a calf is born today, from day one up to the time the calf conceives and calves down itself, it has been consuming. It has been taken away from you. Now, we are expecting by the end of the second year, your calf will have given birth itself. It will have calved down itself. We had a very wonderful session, the first session by Mwalimu Joy, Mwalimu Francis, and we were able to be taken through this, and we got to understand that we can get our calves to calve down by 24 months. After the first calving, when the cow calves down the first time, during that first lactation, remember, you are recouping from what you had invested in that animal. It will produce to a place whereby, of course, you'll have to dry it again, and it comes back again to calve within 40 months or thereabout. It will calve down the second time. Remember, all these months, you have never gotten anything from this animal. The idea around the business model of a cow is to make sure that we are able to have our cows remain in the farm profitable for at least more than 2 lactations. By the end of the second lactation, is when at least you will start getting something from that animal. And that's why we say breeding is a long-term investment. If you do not invest well from the word go, then you'll stay 2, 3, 4 years down the line and realize that you made a wrong decision. Already you'll have lost. So by the time, from the third lactation, first of all, the animal's requirements, especially for the energy requirement for growth, will have gone down. The animal will have matured, and therefore it goes down in terms of that. And therefore, the animals will also have matured in terms of even the body conformation, the body structures, and everything around it. And therefore, it will now be more focused on production. From the third lactation going forward, you are able not to make your money from that investment. How quickly you do that, how quickly you bring your animal to the third lactation, determines how quickly you start making profit in your farm. The longer the animal stays in your farm, producing economically, having less health challenges, being efficient in terms of feed conversion, also accelerates your profitability. So the idea here is to make sure that our animals are beyond 2 lactations within not more than 60 months. The quicker you get to that, the better for profitability as your farm. The longer you stay with your animal producing, the longer the animal stays producing, or rather being able to calve, the number of calves you're getting from an animal determines also how profitable that animal will be in the long run. Now, we said around what you're seeing and what you are, the genes of the animal, but also the environment. Just to break it further, the genes of the animal, what the animal is composed of, forms 20% of what you expect to see. The other 80% comes around the environment, what you discuss around the feeding, the management, the housing, the resilience of the animal, and all that, even the farmer. So your profitability, 20% of your profitability as a farm is contributed by your genetics, by how you selected the bull you used to start to get the calf you got. This is a huge percentage. It may determine your profitability or your loss as a farmer. And therefore, that's how important it is to concentrate, to also pay keen attention to which bull, which semen gets into your cow. Beyond that, the cost of the milk, of producing milk, 1 kg of milk, 2%, 2.5% of the cost of milk production as a single trait by itself, 2%, 2.5% of it is contributed by the breed, by the genes, by the genetic makeup of that animal. So therefore, this is why it is very important to be keen on the animal, on the bull you are selecting for your venture. It will determine 20% of how profitable the animal, your business venture, your dairy venture, your beef venture, for those who are interested in beef, will be. It's very essential. And therefore, you cannot leave that one to chance. You cannot leave that one to whatever bull is in the canister, in your tank. You cannot leave that one to a third party to make a decision on, because you know your animal better than a third party. You know your animal better than myself. And therefore, when we are able to discuss these facts and select a bull that is best suited to your animal, it becomes a more profitable venture. Sorry, someone is talking? So, I will not tire saying this. Please understand why you are having your animals. Set a breeding goal. One, for the farm, but secondly, for every single cow. Before you inseminate your cow, please know, what do you want to improve in this cow? Does it have long teeth that you want to shorten them a little bit? We said kindly, if you can mute. If there is any question, yes, you can project it up immediately, but also you can use the chat box so that we can have a more seamless discussion. Then after that, we'll be able to pick up all the questions all at once. So is it a challenge of a fertility that you need to correct? Is it a challenge of an animal that is so huge and you want to a little bit manage on the stature of that animal? Is it an animal that is difficult even to handle because of temperament? And therefore, while you're choosing the bull for that cow, then you want to choose a bull that will manage the temperament of this cow. Now, in that case, you are helping ourselves. We are helping each other. But while you're doing all this, there should be a balance between production, health, and conformation. Why are they important? Because some of our farms are always looking for the highest bull in terms of productivity in the catalog. But let me tell you this, that if you concentrate only on production as the only reason why you are choosing a certain bull, you might be compromising on other traits. Some traits are negatively correlated to others. For example, production, in this case, milk production, has a negative effect most of the times with health traits. Let me give you a practical example. The cow that is in the farm that has the highest milk productivity per lactation may be still the cow that is more prone to mastitis, for example, more prone to conception issues. That is the cow that delays even to come back to cycling, to get the calving interval is longer for that cow. And therefore, if your concentration for the entire period of time is around production, then you get losses around the number of seminations you'll be having, how long it will take to bring that cow into production again, but also the issues with other health. It will be more prone, it might be more prone to somatic cell count, higher somatic cell count, but also around the mastitis itself, be it clinical, be it subclinical, because all these things are genetic, and some traits, as I said, are negatively correlated to others. So at the end of it all, it's a balance you want to do, that you don't concentrate on production so much that you lose the benefits that the cow will have given you from health, and vice versa. The thing is, I can say it maybe in a different scale. I know sometimes we find it's a little bit of a challenge when you look at our bull catalogs to interpret and make sense out of it. Today, I want to make it very easy for everyone in the meeting to make very easy decisions when it comes to catalog interpretation and understanding catalogs. It is not only for the elites. The beauty with it is that it can be understood by everyone, so long as we pay keen attention to what we want. We may not be able to understand all the traits and how to interpret them, but at least the basic one, we are able to make a decision based on them. There are different formats of presenting catalogs in the world. I've just projected 4 of them. In Netherlands, which is NL, there is, whichever catalog you're using, there is what you call the base, the average. The measure, the average, where the measure is starting from. The average. In Netherlands and in Europe, 100 on the catalog denotes the average, denotes what all the, it's like when you have done an exam, the class will be graded and be given an average. Like, for example, this class out of 20 students, the average mark was 65%. So that becomes the average. That becomes the point of reference. So in this case, in Netherlands, average, every trait is graded from 100. It can be more than 100 plus, which means you are going on the positive side, or 100 and below, which means you are dropping a little bit. Not every trait may drop when you're going negative, because some of the traits, as I will show you, it may be a positive for the specific animal you're looking at when that trait is below 100. And therefore, when you understand this and the catalog you're dealing with, it becomes easier. For the CRV catalog, 100 becomes our average. When you go beyond 100 towards plus 104, 108 and above, you are increasing. You are moving positively from the average. When you go below 100 and below, you're moving negatively from the average. But either way, it might be beneficial depending on the trait we are looking at. And that's what we are coming to right now. I have said this in a different slide, so I'll talk about it as we proceed. But this is basically what we focus on as a breeding company. We focus on health, which is very important. We want to be able to give you bulls that will breed and get animals get pregnant easily. Healthier wolves, you not get challenges around managing wolf issues around the white line disease, lemonitis, foot rot, and such kind of things, and animals that will be less prone to mastitis, be it clinical mastitis, be it subclinical mastitis. The issue of ketosis is managed when you select our bulls because we focus on those issues greatly. But another thing that we focus on is efficiency, making sure that you're able to produce to have your farm more efficient in terms of you're using less for more, or using the same amount of feed for more. That's all around what makes our breeding objective, making sure that you're getting healthy, but also a very efficient animal in terms of what you're doing. Now, this is a snapshot. Oh, sorry. This is a snapshot of what you find in a catalog. I want you to realize one thing. Michael, please don't take charge of the screen. It messes up the things I'm displaying. So when you look at the bull catalog, one of the things you see is the image of the bull and the name of the bull, both the short name and the long name. In this case, the bull on the screen is called Starliner. I've shared the bull catalog on the chat. I know maybe Jerry can help me to reshare again for the people who came a little bit late. So this is a bull that is we have currently in Kenya, but also active in Europe. The short name of the bull is Starliner. The long name is Delta Starliner. The reason why I always emphasize that we may get the long name of the bull is that we might have different other bulls called Starliner, but we have only one bull called Delta Starliner. The other most important critical thing when it comes to let me just pick an highlighter. When it comes to bulls is the bull ID, because that will always be different from another bull in the world. I'm being notified my connection is a little bit interrupted. You can still, am I still there? Yes. Jerry, someone just confirm that I can still hear me?
Yeah, we can see very well.
Thanks. So the other thing that comes with our bull catalog is ensuring that you can be able to get the top 3 traits of this particular bull. Like this bull, we are being told is a persistent producer. Look at the longevity of this bull. This bull is adding you. This is in terms of days. I'll discuss maybe in a different slide how this is interpreted. But this is the first slide you see, or rather the first page you see in a bull. It shows you the length, which is the This is important because you don't want to have inbreeding. It also shows you the condition of the bull.
Excuse me, Benson, you're lagging a bit.
And this makes our catalog very separate. It grades the bull. Am I back? I was notified my network was a little bit interrupted.
Yes, now we can hear you. We can hear you better. You left off when you were telling us about the longevity.
Good. Oh, sorry. So I'll discuss that later in the second coming slide. Now, one of the things that I love about our catalog is how easy it makes life for you to make decisions. For example, if you want to select, your challenge in the farm has been, for example, when you're is around health. you are getting a lot of issues with fertility, you are getting you're calling your throat are all to help. If you see the big getting farm, check and pool
Ben,
that under
excuse me, Ben. We are still losing you. Do you want to take a minute to see if you can fix your network? It's very choppy. Hi, everyone. I think Benson's the network was a bit choppy. He has dropped off, but I'm sure he's going to sign right back in. Let's just give him a minute.
If you could repeat that whole slide, that would be good. Thanks.
Those who are showing their videos can also put them off. It helps increase the bandwidth for the presenters and for all of us.
Guys, I'm sorry. I think the network got interrupted, but I have switched on to a different one. Kindly let me know if I'm back.
Yes, you're back, Benson.
I'm
Is
really
it
sorry
possible
for that.
for you to go back to this slide?
I'm really sorry for that.
Slide.
Really sorry for that. I'm really sorry for that. But I've changed to a different network. So, so I was saying, when you look at the catalog and your biggest challenge is around health, select the bull that has the highest score on health. It means that you will improve fertility, add health and health at a go. Issues ya mastitis itakuwa imeenda chini. Issues ya miguu kuwa na shida kupata magonjwa ya miguu itakuwa imeenda chini. But also issues ya kupata shida ya mastitis na vitu kama hizo itakuwa imeenda chini at a go. If challenge kubwa yako chakula, ng'ombe wako anakula chakula mingi na it is more around genetics, kuna shida ya chakula pia, ama kuna shida ya ng'ombe baada ya kuzaa mara mbili mara tatu lazima watakuwa na shida, you have to cull them off, ama kuna shida ya volume, the amount of milk you are getting, then in that case select a bull on the catalog that has the highest score on the CRV efficiency, and you'll be sure you'll have improved on that trait at a go. So in a simple way, that helps you to make decisions on that. But in the next slide, I'll be, oh, sorry, I've seen someone saying changing language. I'm sorry, Sometimes I mix Kiswahili and English to be able to capture all, but let me stick to English so that we can all be on the same page. Now, a catalog is normally divided into sessions. And section number 1 is looking at the main building blocks, which helps you to make a blanket choice of a bull for your ad. If you want to improve health, as I discussed here above, you select the bull that has the highest score on the health and the CRV health. If your challenges, or rather your breeding goal, is around maybe improving the amount of feed the animal are consuming and how much you are converting that to milk, then you may want to look at the CRV efficiency, and around longevity, you are sure all these will have improved at once. You have also, under daughter management traits, it also gives you an idea of how the daughters of this bull will perform around something, for example, ketosis. This is a special trait that is only CRV that offers. Ketosis, making sure that your animal, immediately after coming down, they don't have issues around this. Milking speed, helping you to select animals that are, either you want to improve the milking speed or you want to lower the milking speed. But this we normally call an optimum trait. You don't want a cow that milks so fast, because it means the sphincter muscles are open, and therefore you are exposed to bacteria getting through the teat and infecting your your thing. Somatic cell count. Now let me say this: between this the blocks, the CRV, the CRV efficiency, and the daughter management traits, and the CRV conformation traits, the bull conformation traits, you want something as positive as possible. A positive means it will improve on that trait specifically. Let me give an example. If you are looking at something like somatic cell count, which is the trait here, I just want to see whether I can highlight it. This trait here, somatic cell count, if your animals have had a lot of challenges, mastitis, a lot of challenges when you go to the your analysis, you find somatic cell count are high, then this will be a bull that can help you with that. If the bull has more score on somatic cell count, you combine that one together with the other health, high score on other health, it means it is reducing the chances of you getting mastitis challenges. Hope that is clear. Now, on the other hand, the linear traits, these traits here, it is specifically depends on the animal you're looking at. In this case, for example, stature is the height of the animal from the ground to the topmost part of the legs of the animal. I'll show you how that is done. So if you are, the animal you're looking at, for example, is a short animal, and you want to improve that height of that animal, the size of that animal, this will be a bull that will help you do the same. Because it has positive on stature, it is adding stature. But if your animal is already big and you want to reduce the size of that animal, then you may need to select a bull that has a negative score on this specific trait here. So basically the linear traits, whether you select a positive or a negative, depends on the specific thing that you want to address. Whereas on the other side, these ones, you want to select a positive any given time. Because a positive means the more the positive, the better that traits, that the bull is able to transmit that trait to the offspring. Hope that becomes better. I'll be able to catch it up as we continue. So there are, let me just skip this and go somewhere here. This is a practical case I want to give you. We said 100 is the average. So if a bull, for example, is indicated in the catalog plus for milk production, something like plus 1,000 kgs, what does it mean in practice? This means this bull produced 1,000 liters of milk over and above the average animal. The average animal right now, as we talk about CRV, is giving us an average milk production of 11,000. So 11,000 liters per lactation is the average milk production for a CRV bull as we talk right now. So, and if the bull is indicated on the catalog something like plus 1,000, this is what it means. It is the 11,000, which is the base average, plus the 1,000 to get 12,000, which will give you the genetic potential of that bull. That bull per lactation is able to give you 12,000 liters per lactation. But remember, it's only a half of that that will be transmitted to the daughters from the bull. So this bull means can be able to transmit 500 kgs to the daughters, because the other half, the other portion of it will come from the dam. Therefore, what do you expect with the offspring? If you selected a bull that is indicated, for example, positive plus 1,000 kgs of milk in the catalog, the offspring will be, what it transmits to the offspring, to the daughter, is plus 500 kgs. So you are adding 500 kgs over and above what the dam is able to produce. That goes on even to the fat. The fat right now is at an average of 3.61%. So in this particular case, what we are looking at the screen, this bull is indicated in the catalog, for example, positive 0.2. So it means it's adding 0.2%. It has a genetic potential of 0.2% over the average. Therefore, it will transmit out of that to the offspring. So in this case, offsprings of this animal will have the genetic potential of giving us plus 500 liters of milk or plus 0.1% more of fat than what the dam was giving. Hope that is clear. We can capture it in the questions. Maybe if there is a question that comes in. I think this is what I've explained in the slide before, that in a practical case, this is what you'll see. If the bull, for example, on the catalog is indicated, let me just give a live example. Allow me to go back to this. Starliner is a live example I want to use because this is a bull that is currently in the market. Now, look at here. I want you to look at just to explain how production works. Look at here. Under production traits, milk is indicated as, it's a positive, it's not a negative, 629 liters. So it means this bull has a genetic potential of giving 629 liters over and above the average, and the average we say is 11,000. So for you to get to understand how much this bull is giving us, it will be the 11,000 plus 629. That will give you the potential of this bull in terms of productivity per lactation. So it will be 11,000 plus 629. That is 11,629 per lactation. So if you want to know per day, this one you divide by 3 or 5. So this bull has the genetic potential of producing 38.1 liters per day. But remember, it can only transmit half of that genetic potential to, so the offspring will be a plus 629 divided by 2 is 629 divided by 2, 314. So what you are adding to the daughters of the animal, of the combination of this bull to your animal, is a positive 314 liters. That's how, I believe that's the simplest way I can put it. You need to understand the average, which is 11,000 liters per lactation, plus what is indicated in the catalog is what is over and above the lactation, the average. Then when you get to that, that gives you the productivity on average for that, the genetic potential for that animal on average per lactation. If you want to know per day, you divide that one by 305. 305 is the length, rather what you call a lactation period. Internationally accepted number of days an animal should stay in lactation. I think for production, that is the easiest, that is how I'll make it easy. For longevity, the same. Basically, longevity means how long will the animal stay in the farm, producing effectively and economically. So it's normally represented in terms of days. So if you see, for example, in this case, we are seeing 640. This, not 640, but 840. It is 840 days over and above the average, and the average is 55 days for a CRV bull. And therefore, it's adding 840 days genetic potential. But what it transmits to the daughters is half of that. It's a half of what it has, the genetic potential it has. So in a case like this one, the daughters will stay 420 days longer in the ad than the dam. That's why it is very important to consider these things, because it means you'll be getting more money, getting more profitability from the same animal, because of selecting for animals that can give you better longevity. So basically, depending on what your breeding goal is, you can go on and go on. I just wanted to say something on feed efficiency and how it is important to our ventures. Feed efficiency basically means out of the feed you have given to this animal, how much milk is it giving me tomorrow? I have given it today 20 kgs of dry matter, for example. Tomorrow, how much milk am I getting from this animal? Or tomorrow, how much meat, if I'm looking at meat, beef animals, how much meat is it adding? Just like vehicles, we have vehicles all over the road. Some vehicles are better consumers than others. We'll say then they are better in terms of efficiency than others. The same applies to cows. In a herd of 5 cows, some animals will convert feed better into milk than others. It is normal, and it has a genetic connotation to it. And therefore, that's the reason why we are also paying very keen attention to this, because then we don't want to raise animals that are eating more and not giving us as they are eating. They will be eating to our profits. And therefore, if you concentrate on our CRV bull catalog, if you are able to look at the bulls that are giving you better in terms of conversions, it becomes a more profitable. You'll be getting more for the same amount of milk, as opposed to someone who, or rather to another cow that was not, that genetic potential was not looked at, that trait was not looked at. And especially now understanding that more than 60% of our costs in terms of feed production becomes, or rather comes out of the feeding, then it becomes an important trait to concentrate on. In summary, especially for the traits we have discussed up there, more than 100, this is what it means. If it's on calving ease, if you go beyond 100, it becomes easier. It's a calving, it's a better calf. The calving will not be, the animal will not want to be assisted to calve down. Within 1 hour, you have the calf with you. If it's fertility, as you proceed beyond 100, it's better fertility, better conceptions, the animal can conceive better, better calving intervals. The animal does not take long to come back into product, in calf, and such challenges will be reduced. Other health, how many times has your milk been rejected because of a high somatic cell count? How many times have you been able to call your vet to manage a mastitis case? All these could be genetically predisposed. So therefore, we are saying, if you concentrate on, if your breeding goal is around this, then you look for the bull that has the highest score on the other health, and therefore you're able to improve, or rather lower the chances of getting somatic cell count on high, or even chances of getting both clinical mastitis and subclinical mastitis. I'm insisting on both saying clinical and subclinical because in fact, the study carried, I think, this year or late last year, showed that our farms, more than 70% of our farms and of our animals, of our cows, are suffering because of subclinical mastitis. This is mastitis that you can be able to detect, but it is already affecting especially the fertility of the animal, but also giving it a lot of stress, giving it issues around productivity, the amount of milk you're getting. Any animal that is suffering from subclinical clinical mastitis, one of the things that will be affected is fertility. That is not an animal that will come on it easily. Why? Because it's spending a lot of energy trying to fight this mastitis, trying to fight this subclinical mastitis you're not seeing. And therefore, that energy that would have that energy that would have been used for reproduction is being utilized in a different area. So please, in our various farms, let's do screens of our animals on a daily, on a weekly, have a regular way of screening animals for subclinical mastitis. It's a killer. It's affecting our farms, it's affecting our profitability, it's making us lose milk without noticing. So the frequency of testing for subclinical, for mastitis should be, you should have a protocol for that. Because of time, we not delve deeper into that, but that is exactly what we'll say. I think I've discussed this in details. Because of time, may not be able to. I want to create time for some questions so that you can be able to respond to them. And so therefore, allow me to a little bit rush. So ADIOT is all about, you're looking at somatic cell count score, you're looking at clinical mastitis, you're looking at productivity, fertility, and the quality of milk you're getting. So the better you concentrate on that, the better for you as a farm, the better for you for your cows. They'll be able to stay in the farm for longer without issues. I think we talked about this, but most importantly, why our Uffield score is very important, because it takes care of more conditions that can affect your animal. And I found this and I was like, wow, it's huge. Lameness can cause up to 424 liters of loss in liters of milk per lactation. Those animals working in the farm as if they are, I don't know, I don't want to use that word, but those animals that are suffering from lameness, suffering from laminitis, suffering from foot rot, suffering from weight line disease, all these combined, by the end of lactation, you may end up losing 424 liters. That's almost 2 liters, 1 point something liters a day. You can imagine the loss. Beyond that, look at the conceptions. 5 to 50% less conceptions because of poor hoof health. Definitely, the animal is paining. It has pain on the legs. It has pain on the feet. It cannot be able to express its natural its signs. It cannot be able to even move to take water and take water or take feed. And therefore, that's how huge. If you concentrate on these things, you can make a huge difference in your farm. Just to make, because I may not discuss more around the conformation traits, I just posed a question here. For the linear traits basically means how the animal looks like. What's the frame of the animal? What's the chest width of the animal? What's the stature of the animal? What's the body condition of the animal when you look at it? What's the ramp ankle when you look at it from behind? When you look at it from sides, how are the rear side legs set? Does it give them nice spring as they are walking? When you look at it from the behind, what are you looking? Are you looking at a very parallel, strong legs? Are you looking at legs that are either wide apart or a little bit squeezed together, and therefore there is no capacity for the udder to develop? Because yes, you may have a very good bull, that is a very nice cow, that has a high genetic potential for milk production, but the frame of it, the rear legs, the udder, how the udder is set, does not allow it to have the capacity to carry that milk. It is the engine, it is the milk storage bit. How are you looking at it? Body depth. How is it too big an animal? Is it too narrow an animal? Because the body depth also determines how the feeding of that animal, how much the animal will feed, but also how just chest width. How spacious is it? Is it allowing the visceral organs, the heart, the lungs, space for it to be able to develop to the optimum capacity? These are some of the things that are important for us to look at while we are correcting our breeding purposes. And therefore, some traits may be, for example, stature, we call it an optimum trait. We don't want an animal that is too tall, neither that is too small. Something else like locomotion. We want an animal that has very parallel locomotion, where the front legs are stepping is where the rear legs are stepping. A very parallel, strong kind of a movement. So we want to select a cow that has the highest score on locomotion. And also some traits here become optimum, other traits we call them maximum. Optimum trait is whereby you want them to be as close to average as possible, whereas a maximum trait is where you want to add the highest score on the catalog. Let me give you an example here. Stature. So the average CRV cow has stature of 147 centimeters. Now, get this clear. The average CRV cow has a stature of 147 centimeters. That's a very optimum, medium-sized, high-productive animal. What we are targeting is that by the time that animal calves down for the first time, it should be having around 145 centimeters. Why is this important? It is important because also the stature helps you to determine when to serve your animal. It's one of the ways you can use to know whether your heifer is ready for service or not. When you target, we target to get our heifers for the first service, or rather to get their first insemination when they are around 130 centimeters to around 132 centimeters. When your heifers are around 130 centimeters to 132 centimeters, that's a good size for the animals to be able to calve, or rather to be inseminated for the first time. We also use the kgs, as Mwalimu had said in the other time, that you are targeting 55 to 65% of the kg, of the expected adult weight for you to be able to serve your animal first. But also we are supposed to do that within 12 to 14 months. If you're able to achieve those parameters within 12 to 14 months, then you're good to go. And therefore, depending on the cow you're looking at, you may either take a bull that has high stature, rather, because you want to improve the stature of your animal. Maybe you have a short animal. So on the catalog, what you look at is a bull that has more stature. If you have a huge animal, a tall animal, on the catalog, what you'll be looking at is a bull that has a negative stature, a less than 100 stature. Trying to start finalizing this, you need to define your goal. You need to know what you want for the farm, but also you can narrow it down to for the cow. Define your goal and make it clear. Do you want meat? Do you want milk? Do you want short animals that are good in conformation? Do you want animals that, do you want to breed for the next generation? So what you want is what determines, what becomes your goal. Then from there, choose the bulls that will help you get there for the cow, but also for your farm. Above this, track the performance. Know how these animals are performing. Have a clear way of putting data, putting records. This is a big challenge we are getting outside there, where farmers do not know the dam or the sire or anything around the history of that animal. Please, 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 can we have a way of keeping records? It can be the simplest as noting down in notebooks. It can be to the point whereby, because right now we have so many apps, so many programs that can help you in keeping that data. If you do not want to invest in that, please then invest in a very good manual system or in Excel sheets. Even Excel sheets work for you. But beyond that, for posterity purposes, please invest in a good system that you can be able to track the performance of your animals. It will help you big time. When your inseminator comes to that farm, they need this information. When your consultant comes to that farm, they need this information. But beyond that, for your own purposes, you need this information to know whether you're making profits, to know whether you're making progress, and to know the things that you need to change, and to know whether you need to change your breeding goal maybe after 1 year or not. Without information, without this data, you'll not be able to make that information. You'll not be able to make those decisions. Consult where you need to, and consult people that will help you get to your breeding goal faster. How we are helping you make decisions, we have a program we call SireMatch. SireMatch is a program that helps you make those breeding goals, or rather breeding decisions and matching very easy. If you have your pedigree information, give it to us. We'll be able to run it through the SireMatch program that has been running in the world for over 40 years now. We are running over 1 million devices per year, and this will help you consolidate your goal and match your goal to the bulls that will help you make that decision. So you may not be, manually, you may not be able to make these decisions as perfect as you can, but this system is helping us worldwide to make the perfect match for our farmers and to help you get to that. The other way we are helping, the other solution we are giving to farmers is genomic testing, making sure that you can understand your calf from day one, so that you make the decision whether to rear that calf for breeding purposes, for productivity purposes, or even cull it at that early stage. Because maybe the calf does not match to your breeding call. The calf, we can see from the genetics, is a challenge that you face in future, as a genetic defect somewhere in the line. And therefore, we make the decisions whether to breed that calf or not early enough. Those are services we're offering, trainings, and making you able to come up with breeding objectives at the farm level. And these is services we are able to value add to you at the farm. Let me pass there. Now, you may have done all this, come up with the best decision, or rather genetics, but then your management is poor. Look at those two animals. This is the animal we promised you, but when you brought it to your farm, this is what you did. They are not matching at all. So you have to match what we want you to have together with the management, together with the environment, together with how you rear this animal. A wonderful animal, a beautiful cow that has been grossly mismanaged, that has been grossly messed up. So we are talking about cows that can give you genetic potential, that can give you, even at zero from the catalog, they have the genetic potential of giving you around 11,000 liters. But at the farm level, you are getting 11,000 liters is something like, per lactation, something like 36 liters per day. But the reality in the farm is that you're getting 25 liters, 20 liters, 15 liters. Weight is the difference. It is around matching what you chose with how you are bringing up the cow. Very important, extremely important. So as I conclude, what are the different breeds that we have? We have the fresh and Holsteins, both black and white, red and white, both sexed and conventional. You can also get Fleck V for dual purpose, for those people who are looking at dual purpose breeds. Very wonderful breed. You can also look, we have both sexed and conventional for that. We can also get jerseys from us, imported from New Zealand or from America, from USA, wherever you want them to get imported from, both sexed and conventional. You can get the latest one now, Gir, which is a breed for ash environments, free-range systems, extensive systems, wonderful bull, substantial amount of milk, averaging around 12-15 liters per day. You can lease it, go and feed in the field, and come back in the evening and still give you a substantial amount of milk. If that is what you want to look at, you can get the Girlando, which is a crossbreed between the Gir and the fresh and Holsteins, which can withstand a little bit of temperatures and harsh climatic conditions, but still give you substantial amount of milk, averaging around 21 liters per day. So we are saying we are giving you a freshen that is easy to manage and very efficient in terms of feed conversion, in terms of longevity, and in terms of the net profit. We are giving you a Flecky that is also very efficient, but also can give you very high weight gain, averaging between 1.3 kgs per day, but also substantial amount of milk, averaging around 8,600 liters per lactation. That's almost 30 liters per day. Practically, we have seen them in Kenya performing at 30 liters per day. Jersey, very efficient in production, wonderful fertility. Their CRV jerseys have the highest fertility in the whole world. Wonderful fertility because of the nature of where they are being bred. New Zealand, they are very seasonal, and therefore you have to get it right when the season comes in. Easy calving, wonderful, a sustainable breed that you may want to look at. The Girlando, for the less extensive areas, you can be able to use it wonderfully to get whatever you want with less investment to it. But then the Gir, here comes the Gir. For those people who don't want a lot of stress, who their environment will not allow them to keep the freshen, because freshens are more stressed by heat. This can withstand heat, can withstand diseases very easily. And then this photo is a real photo of a farm that are using, not in Kenya, but they are using the same genetics we are using in Kenya. The samples we we are using in Kenya. In fact, 2 of the bulls they were using, we have extensively used them in Kenya. But I want you to look at, I know it may not be very clear, this here is the average production. Oh, sorry, I know it. The average production of that farm was 13,000 liters and 13,026 liters per lactation in that farm. The farm was having 1,200 dairy farmers, dairy animals, with an average of 13,000 plus in terms of milk per lactation. This is what we are giving you. The genetic potential is there. The will is there. We are willing to help you walk through the journey. But will you take action? If you take action, this photo was taken in Joy Farm. It's a bull called Positron, a wonderful bull, a wonderful top-notch bull. But he has been able to raise that exceptionally well. And if you were in the first session, you could see how that bull was performing in that farm, among many others. So the idea here is, can you be able to match the genetic potential of the animal to the management? But before you do that, can you be able to make a decision of what you want to achieve as a farmer? If you're able to make that decision, it becomes very, very easy for your farm. That's what I will say for today. In the limitation of time, I know we could have discussed more, but I'll leave it at that and take questions.
Thank you, Benson, for a very, very informative session. And I think the takeaway for the day is set a breeding goal for your farm. And you've told us actually there's a difference between mating and breeding. Mating is just insemination and reproduction, but breeding is strategic. You look at the different traits and how they interact within your breed and within specific cows. You've told us about traits to do with health, to do with efficiency, and to do with longevity. I know that everyone here has something that they've taken home. For me, it's every time I looked at a bull catalog, I was completely and totally confused. I did not even know what the pluses and minuses mean. I think that was one of the questions that somebody asked, what do the pluses and minuses mean on a bull catalog? And you've explained very well. There've been a couple of questions in the chat. I'll try and pull up some so that we can be able to have a discussion. One of them is, please advise on the best time to serve cows that don't show standing heat. They have all other behaviors but do not have the restlessness. So can you just mention a few words on the strategy for serving cows?
All right. I hope I'm still available. I'm still audible. Now, I don't want to give it a blanket, a specific answer. There are 3 things that affect fertility of the animal, the success of conception of animal. One is the cow, the other one is the farmer, and the third one is the technique. The technique is where the inseminator comes in, the semen comes in. The farmer is how accurate are you with your even knowing the cow is on it. When? Because by the time you're calling me as an inseminator to come and inseminate your cows, I'll ask you, when did you see the signs first? If you lie to me, then I'll assume I'll work with your timing and come to inseminate your animals. If I get it wrong because of your wrong answer, then you may start blaming me. But the challenge was that. The idea around the animals with silent heat is that you may need to be more careful with them, more keen with them. Basically, animals, especially those with silent heat, may be showing little signs for a very short period of time. So please monitor those animals closely, especially early in the morning or late in the evening when it's a bit cold. Monitor the other things. Apart from restlessness, what are you looking at? You're looking at a swollen vulva. You're looking at a slightly high in terms of temperatures. You're looking at the discharge, sometimes the slimy clearness in discharge from the vulva. You're looking at a slight drop in milk production. Combine all these things to come up to a diagnosis, rather to come to a place whereby you can really say this animal is on it. So it's a myriad of other things. You may need to have a discussion, a closer look at the animal, but also monitor it more closely, pay more attention to that animal, because most of the silent eats are regular, but it's only us that miss it. So we need to be more keen, apart from the restlessness, because the animal may not show that excitement, but it's still showing enough signs of enough signs to give you an indication that it's on it.
Thank you, Benson. I hope that's clear, and that answers a couple of questions that were also on the chat on silent heat and knowing how to identify an animal that's on heat. The next question is on somatic cell score. Do bulls with high somatic cell scores increase or reduce cases of mastitis?
So bulls with high somatic cell score, okay, is it in terms of the catalog or is it in terms of the real cell score? Let me just answer both. If you have gone to do your analysis for milk and you are told that your somatic cell is high, it means that animal is more predisposed to mastitis. Mastitis basically is the inflammation of the udder. Why is the udder inflamed? When the udder is inflamed, the cow reacts by sending more white blood cells to the cow reacts by sending more white blood cells to fight that infection, and that's where the somatic cell starts going high. And therefore, basically, a bull with high somatic cell means the animal is more predisposed to getting rather mastitis. But on the catalog, if you're looking at a CRV catalog, the more the score on somatic cell, the less that bull is on the number of somatic cells you're getting from it. It's lowering the number of somatic cells in the next generation. So if your bull is, for example, rated 107 on the catalog, it means it is lowering your chance of getting somatic cell mastitis by 7%. If it is 96 on the catalog, of which we never bring such a bull, it means you have a 4% higher chance of getting mastitis than an average cow.
Thank you. There's a question about have farmers in Kenya used your catalog, your semen before, and how would you comment on their productivity and calving and all these factors you've given us that we should look out for when we're looking for bulls?
Thank you. We have been using, or rather we have been bringing in CRV bulls in Kenya now close to 20 years. We have farms in Kenya on their even grandchild's, great-granddaughters of CRV bulls in Kenya. The thing is, at the end of it all, we are giving you a very potential animal, an animal that can give you milk with less challenges. And truly, to it, for the last 20 years, this is something that we have been leading in providing. And we are keen to making sure that as we continue selecting bulls for the Kenyan farmer, we are looking at them. We have them in our minds that at the end of it all, if we don't bring nice bulls, it is for us who will suffer. If you don't bring nice bulls, it is at the end of it all the productivity of the farm that will suffer, and therefore also the productivity of us as a company. So to answer it quickly is that yes, we have farms who have great-granddaughters on their farms. We have farms who have been using our bulls for the longest time ever.
There was a question on if you charge for the sire matching or the herd optimizer.
No, we do not charge for sire matching. We have two programs for sire matching. The sire match, there's one called sire match 2.0, that if you do not have the pedigree information of your animal, we can still help you with the breeding objectives and with the challenges, or rather when you give us information about your herd size, we can still customize bull selection for you based on that. We have the sire match main one, which I've said it has been used for over 40 years, that requires the pedigree information of your animals, and we do not charge for this. What you need to do, we can share with you the tablet, how we want the information. Like what we need is the name of the cow, the sire, the dam, the grandsire, and such simple information. But at least the sire, the dam, and the grandsire are very important because they will help us understand your herd better. And if we get this information, we do the report for you. We'll share the report with you. But before we do the report for you, we'll also discuss with you your breeding objective, because the sire match takes care of that when you run the report, and therefore we do not charge for this. What we only charging for is the head optimizer, and we are finalizing on the costing of that. But we have done 3 trials in Kenya right now in different, in fact, not 3, 6 or so different trials with over 50 cows done already, and we are finalizing on the pricing for that. It should be out, I think, by next week, and we should be able to, in case you want such services, please get in touch with us. For the head optimizer genomic testing, we'll charge. But as for the sire match, we do not charge.
And this is just a question that I've come up with just by reading everybody's comments. For most of us who are small-scale farmers, we usually have an inseminator come to our farm and inseminate our cows. So how do you suggest that we deal with that so that we make sure that when the inseminator comes, that we are going through the process of selecting the proper bull for our cows? And do most inseminators carry the CRV semen?
To answer that quickly, be the driver. It's your farm, it's your business. Know when your cow is coming on it first. When you have an estimation when your cow is coming on it, you know the cow. So call your inseminator before, way before, maybe 2 weeks, 1 week before the cow comes on it. Discuss it with him that my cow will be coming on it on this day, with him, or my cow will be coming on this day. This is what I want to correct. Please look for me a bull that helps me to correct that. So you have given your inseminator enough time to look for a bull that helps you to correct that. If you have the catalog with you and you only need maybe an advice on how to make the decisions, please make the decision early. Call us, call the inseminator, discuss it with him, then agree on the bull that you want to inseminate your cow with. Then the inseminator will have enough time to look for that bull, so that by the time the cow comes on it, you already know which bull to use, and you have already agreed with it, or rather, that with your inseminator. The challenge comes whereby you are calling your inseminator today morning, your cow needs to be served, and the discussion is more geared towards how much you're willing to pay, but not how much but also the issue of, does the inseminator have time even to look for the bull that you want to inseminate your cow with? So the issue is keep your information, keep your records straight, so that before the cow comes on it, you already know and you have already discussed when and which bull to use on that cow. I think that for me would be my advice to all farmers.
Thank you. That's very good advice. We're looking like we are out of time, but I think we've been able to answer a majority of the questions. There's a lot of requests for the catalog. The catalog has been posted on the chat. You can download the CRV catalog on the chat, and we will also post it for about a week or so on our website. Mary, if you could kindly share our website, and we'll also post on the DAFMA group. We have a WhatsApp group where we share information on all Revuka sessions. So kindly also join our DAFMA group so you can get information on all our upcoming lessons, and you can get all these resources that are being shared during the lessons. Thank you so much, Benson, and I'd also like to thank all our participants. Thank you for joining us. I hope that this session has been of value to you, that we will make smarter decisions on our farms when it comes to breeding. I would like to point you to Benson's contact. He has projected them there. He's available to answer all your questions. Kindly, Mary, post the link to the WhatsApp group so that it's at the bottom of the chat. We have other lessons coming up. Our next lesson will be on the 6th of June, and we'll be focusing on fodder and forage. So keep an eye out on the DAFMA group. We'll be sharing more information as we get closer to the 6th of June. We hope to see all of you back for that series on fodder and forage. Mary, kindly post the link to the group. I don't have it readily available here. Or Cyrus. So
I've posted, you can check it.
So as you post that, just to mention this, sorry, Jerry,
mhm.
I know there are so many questions that you may not have responded to. My contacts are available there. You can check on, you can email me, you can call me, you can WhatsApp me. You can also check on follow our socials. We are CKL Africa Limited on all social medias. You can also send free SMSs to 22537. We are all available online, but also through our distributors, through our CK representatives from wherever you are. Just in case you need any help, these are my contacts. Please let's learn together. Thank you.
Thank you, Benson. So we have posted the link to the WhatsApp group. It's currently on the chat. It's the last chat on the chat box. And we've also posted the catalog, the CRV catalogs, and you can also get a hold of Benson if you have more questions on the CRV catalog. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you on the 6th of June on our series on FODA.